Who is OKfresh, and how would you describe the essence or message behind your persona as a rapper?
I feel like I try to dive more into like relatable music. Um, I make a lot of music based off of like loyalty, respect. Um, I might make songs about being crossed by somebody that I loved, or you know what I'm saying. I make songs that um, have meaning. You know, I like to make songs about things that mean something to me.
Reflecting on your roots, how has your hometown or upbringing influenced the artist you become?
So first off, I grew up in Detroit, Michigan, from Joy Road area. I always grew up with my family around. I was always preached to me that I should always keep family around because that's who's gonna be there for you in the end. And that's how I started making music about the respect and loyalty because lately, you know, things ain't really like how it used to be. Like a lot of people done lost respect, loyalty for people, you know, and I wanna kind of bring that back, you know. I had a good upbringing though, and I can't really say nothing bad about it. Like I'm glad that I went through the things that I went through.
Dive more into your upbringing, like who you grew up with and they played an impact on you being a rapper.
So I grew up with a family that used to always, you know, we used to do the family events, big picnics. Everybody uh, at least visited each other like once a week, and I don't feel like we at that stage no more when it comes to family. And this new generation don't really understand how much family means nowadays. And I was always grew up with family around, and it's so hard now that people are growing distant from each other. I started doing music when I was about 16 maybe, and my first song I did was on a pair of headphones and a CD player. And it was to the point where like you couldn't punch in and punch out. You gotta record the whole song in one take. And it probably took me like 4 hours to do it because I kept messing up, but I eventually got it on there. And I was like just so happy to show my family that I could rap, and I made a song. It probably my worst song I ever made, but it was just the point that I even did that. And now, no, from there, I ended up meeting this guy from high school. His name was Tom. We came up with a group called the Hurricane Boys. And from there, he ended up making a studio in his closet, and you know, it had the pillows, the mattresses, and stuff in there. Me and him don't know nothing about the music, nothing. But we on the internet searching for managers. We don't even have a song to put out. We just already think we rappers at this point. But we ended up actually getting far. Like Soldier Boy ended up making us Artist of the Week. Uh, this is around MySpace days for real. We ended up getting two different managers. We had a female manager first, then we got another manager, which is Rick, which is our entertainment. He, my cousin. My homeboy kept sending my cousin all our music to him because he seen what he was doing with his artists. But I never even reached out to my cousin on my own for real. And my cousin was like, man, why you never told me you knew how to rap? And he like, we could have been did a lot of, you know what I'm saying? We could be farther than what we is right now. So he ended up picking us up, and from there it was like history. We ended up getting a Koch, E1 Koch deal, distribution deal. We From there, we got on the radio. We was selling ringtones. We was making money. We was getting booked for shows. I did 3 school tours. I done been in every high school in Michigan. I'm not even gonna say Michigan, but in the main areas, in the Detroit surrounding areas, I done been to all the high schools, elementary schools, middle schools. I done probably did 100 shows. I done did 107, 107. I done did Hart Plaza. I done did I done performed a lot. And from there, um, we hit a speed bump, and my homeboy, he thought we had actually made it already, and it had kind of got to his head. And like, it was hard to get us to go to shows together because people was like, he would show up late to shows. He wouldn't even come to interviews. And it's so hard as a group trying to get everybody to be on the same page. I ended up just leaving the group and became my own artist, which I was Fresh Money to Mac then. And I had a guy named Dollar, which he was like, man, you remind me so much of myself. And he dove into my music, and I ended up getting with the same manager that I had with the group. And we started making music together.
Was OKfresh your initial rap name or did it evolve over time? How does your chosen name reflect your identity as a rapper?
So as a kid, people used to call me Debo because my first name started with a D. And then when I got to high school, I was more so into how I dress and my clothes and stuff. So people just was calling me Fresh. And then I just added the money onto it. I was Fresh Money, and then, well, I was Fresh Money, and then the people that I was working with was like, man, add something. It was around the time when you had people like Rich Homie Quan. It was like long names going on, so they was like, let's do Fresh Money to Mac. So I took that and ran with it for a little while, and then I felt like I needed to shorten it up, something more simple, something that people can remember. And I remember being in the studio, and Jay was like, okay, Fresh, I like this song. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna name myself OK Fresh. I just like the sound of that, so yeah.
How does your chosen name reflect your identity as an artist?
I look at the word fresh as more than just being fresh. I just feel like I have a new sound that nobody has really even tapped into. I feel like that what I can bring to the table can be refreshing.
In your years of contributing to the rap scene, both personally and for the community, can you give some highlights, like some notable achievements or moments that hold significant to you, like meaning significant?
I've done food drives. My school tours that I was doing was free shows. I was really just passionate about doing music, and I was just doing shows. And I actually look at the younger generation, and I actually sit down with them and take my time and talk to them. Like the people that I can touch and come across, I make, sometimes I do free studio sessions for people. People will come over, they'll come get in the studio because I just know that music was my way to get away from the streets, or it was my way of keeping my head on straight, basically. And for me to be able to like use that gift that I have, because I actually mix music too. I have my own studio, and I would just have people come to the studio. People call me all the time. It might be 2 in the morning. I done had people come to the studio, spend the night, and then leave in the morning, because we'd be up so late. But I feel like that's what I done gave back. that's what I'm trying to give back to the community. I'm just giving that personal attention to the younger generation.
With your involvement in the school tour, how has the experience impacted you as an artist? What connections did you make in the school tour? Do you see a connection with music and the educational space? What are some people that you worked with when you did the school tour?
So the school tour, it built my confidence. It built my confidence because I was performing every day. Every day I had a different school, so every performance would get better. And I was just really breaking the ice because I used to be nervous to perform, but now I'm like really like, I don't really think about it now. I just get on stage and do what I'm supposed to do. I ran across people like Peasy, Stretch Money, Nisha Nashay, Lil George, Fool Boy Marley, Polo Frost, Ayo and Teo. I don't want to leave nobody out, but if I did, I didn't touch a lot of artists like Fotu Dub, a lot of party promoters too, like that I deal with now. They do a lot of like party hosting, and so like when I go to clubs and stuff now, I get, you know what I'm saying, a lot of love from different people. So before every show, I would basically give the kids a speech. I would make sure that I told them school, how important school could be, because a lot of jobs now, man, you can't really get a job without a high school diploma. And I would always tell the kids, even if you don't go to college, you can at least complete high school. You know, I would talk to them more realistically instead of trying to convince kids that they have to do college. Like I just don't agree with that, but I'm all for it though, because if that's your field that you're in, I believe the kids should always finish school. Finish school up until the point that you feel like you can't anymore. I feel like you should get that high school diploma though.
Is identifying as a Detroit artist a label you resonate with? And if so, what ways do you think your connection to the city is reflected in your music?
Yeah, I always represent my city. My sound used to be like completely different from my city because at the time I really just wasn't like liking all our music. Like I had certain artists like Blade Icewood, HBK Kid from Doughboys that I used to like really like listen to for real. But like now I do a lot of like Detroit beats. So my slang is still Detroit. Like even if I have auto-tune on my voice or anything, I'm still in a Detroit bag. I'm still relating to the things that I done been through. I done lived here my whole life. I ain't been nowhere else but here. I grew up on J Road most of my life. So I think everything I'm saying in my music is Detroit, you know, so yeah.
Reflecting on your journey, who were some of the figures that inspired or influenced you as an artist? How did they shape your perspective on the craft?
In the music industry.
In the music industry
So
or overall?
mm, I looked up to, I'm gonna say from the city. I'm gonna say who I looked up from the city. I'm gonna give flowers to the people in the city. I looked up to the Doughboys because they was always around in my, cause I'm from the West Side, so I always heard the Doughboys. I always seen them at the clubs, and I knew a lot of like mutual people. Like my cousin Harold is actually, he used to be a Doughboy. And I used to always want to be around my cousin because I knew he was around them, but my cousin really didn't know I was rapping for real. I used to just like how fresh them niggas was for real. And their music was good. Peasy. When Peasy came out, I was like, man, I ain't think nobody else was gonna top the Doughboys or Vezo. His drive, his grind, it's crazy. Who else? Blade Icewood was probably my first influence. Like I used to always, as a kid, listen to Blade Icewood, and I ain't even know half of what he was talking about at the age I was at, but I always was a Blade Icewood fan for sure.
Is there a fellow Detroit artist that you've always admired and envisioned collaborating with? What qualities in their work resonate with you?
Mm, I would probably. So like I don't really got a style, but I got a loud style. But I would probably get Sada on like my loud music for real. My auto tune music or something. Mm, I would say I ain't gonna lie, Eminem. I gotta put Eminem on something, man. That's a accomplishment. I gotta do something with Eminem. I know people don't really respect Eminem in the city, but Eminem is still Eminem. I have to do a song with Eminem.
Considering your personal relationships, do you find that they have an impact on your rap career, either positively or negatively?
A lot of my music is based off real life situations. I don't really like, if I don't go through nothing, I really can't make no music. Like if I ain't been outside or seen something, like I make music off the things that I see every day. If I'm around my family, I'm gonna make a song about family. If I feel like I done been crossed, I'm gonna make a song about being crossed. If I'm in love at that time, I'm gonna make a song about being in love. Not saying that I can't jump into another bag, but I just don't feel like it's real per se. If I just pretend the situation. Uh, but yeah, I'm a big person, like family man for real. When it comes to family, I got 2 sons. Yes, I'm married. Um, when it comes to family, I'm just big on family. Family always first for me. Loyalty, respect, family.
Now, they always say being in the rap game, like to kind of hide that personal life of having a family or being married. Do you feel like this is something negative, or do you feel like it's something positive that you can run with this day and era?
So I feel like that is a negative thing. I feel like you should be able to speak your truth. Like, I don't think you should fake it. Like, if I'm out here preaching how real I am, and y'all never even knew that I was married or had kids or anything or hide your personal life, I don't feel like it's real music. For real. I don't feel like you being real to your fans. I feel like you should actually, like, if you in a relationship, say that. I don't feel like nobody should look at me no different. I don't feel like, cause back in the day they did do that. They used to kind of want you to hide your relationship so that more females will like you and all that. I feel like we in an era where you can actually be true to yourself and everybody will be okay with it.
Can you share a vivid moment or experience that sparked your journey as a rapper?
Yeah. So I used to be at my grandma's house and I used to see all my uncles in the basement with these notepads, listening to a song over and over and over. Anthony, Brandon, Sean, uh, and they would all be sitting down there writing on these notepads, and I wouldn't know what is going on. This around like a Bone Thugs and Harmony type of area, and they they really like sparked my interest in the music for real.
Looking towards the future, have you considered a backup plan in your career if rapping doesn't unfold as planned?
So, I mean, I'm a hustler, so regardless, if the music work, it work. If it don't, but I feel like I'm always had something to do with music. Like always, I'm an engineer, so I always got my hands on the music. It ain't no age limit on being an engineer. I eventually want to dive into beats for real. I think I can. I want to start making beats too though. I want to be like more so like a Kanye West for real. When it comes to like being able to make music and engineer your own music and do the beat to it. If like music wasn't involved, I real estate. I would own my own studios, things that interest me, you know. So yeah.
How do you approach the balance between passion and practicality in your career choices?
I always want to like do what makes sense when it comes to the music. Like, it's no point of performing at this open mic if I don't feel like it's gonna benefit me. I've always been the type of person where if it don't make sense, don't do it, because sometimes you can go do a show, not be prepared for it, and it can hurt your career more than it can help you. So if it don't make sense, I just believe in just not doing it at all. I feel like it should always be a plan before you initiate the plan.
Have you ever had a point in your life where you wanted to give up music?
So I never really gave up, but I did stop putting my music out. Like, I would go in the studio, make 100 songs, and not put them out. And I would have people come to me and tell me, "Bro, you the hardest nigga in the city, man. Put it out. Why are you just holding on to it?" And I had to like realize, like, if you don't try, it's not gonna happen. If you don't put like the work in, nothing will never happen. You always gonna fail if you don't try. So I started back putting my music out, but that was my only point where I felt like I should give up, or I felt like I gave up, because I never really gave it up for real. I always been making music. I've only gotten better. I might have been making music, you know, behind the scenes, but I never really stopped making music for real.
What key message or insight do you hope your supporters and potential fans will take away from our conversation today?
Um, I don't like doing interviews for real. So I feel like my fans should look at me like I'm opening up more to y'all. And I want y'all to like understand what I'm going through right now. Um, as far as music, or where I'm coming from, or the type of music that I'm really trying to give to y'all. I'm like I said 100 times in this interview, I'm big on respect and loyalty, and I'm gonna preach that to the end. And I feel like y'all should feel like I opened up a little more to y'all.
How would you like to be remembered as an artist and an individual?
I just want to be remembered as the artist that always kept it real for real, like no faking. Like, I just want to be remembered as somebody that helped others as well. Some music might just be turned, but I still want to have that music that help people. I want to touch people. I want to help people be better people, if that makes sense. And I just want to be remembered as a good person for real. That's it. So where I see myself in the next 10 years, I feel like I should be at a place where I should be able to tell other artists how to get there, or at least help them to get there. I see myself with my family. I always wanted to buy a block of houses as a kid and put my family on the whole block for real. I see myself working with artists that I've always wanted to work with. By the way, I did a song with Big Hurt, which is a legend. I got that off my bucket list. And that, I like the feeling that I got when I did that. I feel like I need to do more of that though, because I got other people that I want to work with. I just haven't ran across them yet. I feel like I should be able to, I want to put my family back into that family mood. Like I want to take what I've gained from the music industry and help my family in certain ways, because I feel like my family is only going through the things they're going through is financial. And if I fix the financial situation in my family, I feel like the love will be there again. I don't want to base love off of money, because I love people regardless, but I feel like the people that I look at will feel better if they were able to think about other things than bills or being able to put the food on the table. Like I want to help my people. I'm not talking about just handouts either. I want to employ people. You get what I'm saying? Like I want to make you be able to employ somebody. I want that person to be able to become a boss herself. I feel like for me to get to that next stepping stone, I just have to put more energy into my music, more promotion, more. I need to be seen more. And like I might have a song out, but I get tired of a song too fast, like because I have my own studio, so I make songs all the time. I feel like I need to focus. It could be a project or a single. I just need to put my energy into something, and I need to promote it more. Enough people haven't even seen the things that I'm doing for real. And I look at 10,000 views like the world and seen it sometimes, and I think that's my downfall for real. So, I told myself before this last CD I just put together that I'm gonna start actually putting my time into the things that I put out versus half-stepping everything, if that makes sense.
What advice could you give yourself moving forward so you can make these connections with fellow Detroit artists, so you can work with them? What advice have you given yourself to make this happen?
Don't be afraid of the success, and just put it out. Just do what you want to do. Like instead of thinking about it too hard, just put it out. And like I said, if you don't put it out, it's not gonna happen. You bound to fail if you do nothing. You bound to fail if you do nothing. So me telling myself, I would tell myself to just put it out. Do what you want to do and be passionate about it. Don't half-step nothing.
I know you say you want to do a song with Sada. What have you told yourself to make this happen, so you can do that song with Sada?
Well, I got a couple connects, like people that's close to Sada that I can easily reach out to, and I might be able to bump into them. Shout out to Kiefer. But I feel like money talk, when I feel like I just gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna take the money to him, and once he actually hear me, when people see you break bread with other people, they believe that you believe in yourself. So I feel like you have to break bread with people before you even touch bases with them, like, because it's so many different rappers out here. It's so many better people, so many people with different stories. You gotta break bread with somebody. You gotta let them know that you serious about your own craft. So once I break bread with them, I think I look at it like we'd be locked in for real. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm a likable guy.